Robert Noel here. Well, this video is to announce something really special, something I've never done in my whole career as a guitar player, a teacher, a performer. It's something that, I got to tell you about. I want to talk about it and try to explain about it a little bit, okay? Well, I've been doing the YouTube for several years now, and I have the Guitar Time for You, which I'm trying to get monetized. I'm trying to get my subscriptions up. And I've noticed that the people, they like the basic guitar lessons, everything, but are guitar players or wannabe guitar players or beginners, intermediate, advanced players that want to play the blues, or they love blues music, or they're interested in blues guitar, or they have certain blues guitar players that they've gotten hip to or they love, maybe the Delta blues players or the electric blues players, the great legends, the kings. Whatever it is, there's a reason why they want to know about blues, or why you want to know about blues. You want to learn to play. You want to be able to jam. You want to be able to play at the jam session or the campfire. You want to be able to do blues with blues people, with a blues band. Maybe you want to make your own blues band, do your own blues music, write your own blues music. Well, that's what this gift that I'm preparing for you, and it's going to start January 1st, 2025. I'm doing 365 short videos. These videos are basically a minute long. They go really quick, and every day at 12 midnight on that day, my video comes out, and you're able to see them in order, starting with number 1. And I'm going to go up all the way up to 365, a video each day. Now, these short videos, they still do take me, sometimes an hour to make, even though they're a minute long, because I have to go in and I have to put some details in, some descriptions, and do the posting and some of these other things. So it's time consuming. But this is something that I had an idea to do because my legacy, I'm getting older, this February, I hit the age of 69. What a great number. For hippies, that's an important number. Okay. I wanted to do something that would be special for all guitar players, musicians, to give you that daily blues lesson, because the blues was such a big part of my history. A young kid, my first inspirations were folk artists, Bob Dylan, and I heard the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and there were all these bands that were starting to happen on Ed Sullivan, and then came the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones, and there was Joni Mitchell, Joan Baez, there was these folk singers still, Josh White, and then I started, listening, and I wanted to play guitar. My mom got me a great guitar. It was a classical guitar. It's in some of the videos. I still have it. My very first guitar, a Yamaha Classical. She spent $100 for it at Sears, because I was up there looking at it. I think I was like 5, 6 years old, just a little tiny guy. And my mom got me that guitar and started me with lessons with Jan Johnson, who was a folk singer. Cool. Well, I was starting to read music, and she put little things on my music book, little stars and little funny little stickers and stuff, and rewarded me. And that moved me on to study after Jan the folk singer. I went on to study with many other guitar teachers, and eventually a session guitar player from New York, Joe Fava, studied at his studios, and the voice lessons and singing in the church choirs, and then having my band when I was like, I think we were 4th grade to 5th grade. We had a band my first band was called the Purple Plums. The Beatles were out, the Monkees were out, there was all this pop stuff going on, and we were listening to the radio stations, the AM stations these days, and picking up all the songs. Like I said, the Ed Sullivan Show, the Dick Clark Show, the dance shows, and it was actually the mod era. The mod era turned into the hippie era. And somewhere in that hippie era, I finally got to, Jimi Hendrix came out, and I go, wow. And I was starting to hear these British guys, the Eric Clapton and the Jeff Beck and these people, and wanting to know how they learned. And the Rolling Stones, everybody, blues. So once again, I think I was 6, 7 years old, and I was shopping at the record albums up in Sears, probably. And my mom let me buy albums. She would, I would collect some albums, and one of them was B.B. King, Live at the Regal. Why Sing the Blues, B.B. King. I think I got it somewhere. I found an Albert King album that, I just liked the way he looked, with the Flying V guitar, But B.B. King had this Red 335, and that's a whole nother story. Mom got me this when I was like 11, 12 years old. It was my first Gibson guitar. Before this, I had a Fender Mustang when I was like 1966 when I was doing the Purple Plums. Yeah, I still have this guitar. This was a gift from my mom. She worked real hard. There's quite a story to it. Mom and Dad were divorced, so Mom scrubbed floor. She was a maid. She worked real hard to get $500 to buy me this guitar. And I see the picture of B.B. King playing it on his album cover. Why Sing the Blues? Well, that launched me into listening to blues. And eventually I heard Mississippi John Hurt, Big Bill Broonzy. I heard all these guys, Robert Johnson, Patton, the first great bluesmen, Lightning Hopkins. I discovered the Kings, Freddie King was huge to me. I learned so many of his songs, and B.B. And then there was Albert King, who just, the story goes on. I don't want to get too deep into all of this, but eventually teaching guitar, playing in bands through my teenage years, my high school years, and making money, always playing guitar in band and teaching really young. I was my first La Prima music. I think I was only like 14, 15 years old. I first got a license and I was able to drive and teach. And then there was Wellesby Music. And then when I got into near my late teens, I owned a music studio with my pal Butch Liller, who was a fantastic finger-picking guitar player. I learned so much from. We owned a music store called Peralta Music. But during that late time of my teenage years, I was, playing in different bands. And one band in Detroit that I happened to play with was Little Ruben and the Motor City Players. I actually helped Ruben come up with that name. Ruben was an exceptional entertainer, black guy with just power and walked the audience and did all the great things that later on Albert Collins would teach me again. But Ruben was great. Our band was hot in Detroit, lying out the door to see us, and I was playing the blues. We were playing blues. I was playing Freddie King, and Ruben was singing most of the songs, and I was playing all the solos and really deep into my blues. And then meeting my real first manager, Eric Smith, ABC Channel 7, and he took me under his arms. And I don't know how it was, but I heard this guy named Albert Collins came in from Texas at the Soup Kitchen where I did jam sessions. And long story short, Albert came to see me play one time when he was off. Eric brought him to hear me play in Farmington Hills over here. And at the end of the show, I was playing with Little Ruben, of course, and Albert said, "Come over here, Rob." I sat down with him and he said, "Would you like to play in my band sometime?" And I said, "I would love to. It'd be an honor." And so I didn't hear from Albert for, I don't know, many, many months, a half a year. And finally there was a fall day when I got a phone call, and it was Albert. And he said, "Are you ready to come play with me?" And I mean, that changed my whole life. From then, the next years of my life, I was touring with Albert Collins and the Icebreakers, touring the world, playing the great blues festivals, across the back and forth, now United States tours, Canada tours, Europe tours, everywhere. I mean, we were playing everywhere. And I was meeting all my legends, all those great guys that I grew up thinking I will ever meet them, will I ever, I would go see them play and stuff, but meeting them. I actually was on the road with them, playing with them, staying in hotels, riding the bus with these great blues men and rock players. And just my dreams came true. Okay. Anyways, long story short, back to this 365 short daily guitar lessons. From all of this experience in my life and teaching for how many years have I taught now? 55 years, something crazy, okay? Been a teacher for a long time. But with the technology now and the video thing, now you can carry me on your iPhone, you can have me on your computer, whatever, however, you can look at these videos, these 1-minute videos or any of my videos, but you can, on the YouTube, you can stop them, you can stop and work on the one part I'm talking about, keep repeating it, you can slow it down, slow motion it, you can download it, save it, you can do all these great things with each little video. And it makes it really cool. It's like, you're carrying me around. I'm going wherever you're going. I'm there. You collect my videos. But every day I'm giving you a video. And maybe after I finish this, it's a huge project. It's huge. Maybe I'll do another year of lessons in another style or something. But blues, to my heart, I want to gift you. I want to share with you what I've learned from the great bluesmen, from the Albert Collins. He took special pride in me to show me and teach me and for me to watch his fingers play and hands play. And I learned to watch and listen to how he did it. So when I would see BB, and I hung out with BB a lot of times. He was like my grandpa. There's stories about that, okay? And I got to know Stevie Ray Vaughan through Albert Collins and everybody. And you would be on stage with him. He'd be our guest. And Johnny Winter was another great hero of mine that I got to be good friends with. And these legends, that I looked up to these guys when I was a kid. And now I was out there with them. And I was learning so much from them. I was soaking it in. I wanted to know what made their style and how they worked with the audience and how they brought them, how they did their songs. All of this stuff I want to share with you. But 1-minute lessons are, they go by really quick. And I'm going to tell you, when you look at these videos, of course, with my age now, I've got COPD or something. You'll hear me breathing, but I'm breathing hard because the mic is close. I'm in there close. And you'll hear me every breath I do. It kind of bothers me a little bit, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to take them out. I'm not going to edit that. You're just going to have to put up with some of my mannerisms and how I am, and I'm rushing. I'm talking real fast, But that's how I'm doing these 1-minute videos, these shorts. But every short will have something that I feel is important that you work on. It maybe some of it has to do with intervals and riffs and basic theory. It might be dealing with hammer-on techniques, pull-off techniques, trill techniques, muting techniques, right and left-hand techniques. I'll be doing maybe some finger-picking exercises for you to get into. I'll be exploring some chords with you and what I do with them and how I do something, and maybe some quick progressions or some ideas. I'm going to do all kinds of things. Sometimes it'll be kind of a lecture, and I'll be, showing you. But I'll be demonstrating and lecturing and teaching you as quickly as I can so that you can watch that video and go through your day and go, okay, I got that video. I got my daily, I got to, work on it, get it down. And then the next day, I may elaborate from that video, or it might be something totally new, something different. Another angle on the blues. I'm pretty much gearing these mostly for blues because that's what launched my career. And that's what I really love. I'm a blues guy. Muddy Waters said it, there's no escape from the blues. So I just decided to give in. I gave into it. And I've had a tough life. I've learned some hard lessons and I'm still learning them. Financially, I'm not doing that great. And that's another reason I don't have any retirement account. And that's one of my biggest blues. The only way I'm ever going to do that is if I get enough subscribers on my Guitar Time for You on the YouTube. And if my Patreon takes off. So hopefully these videos, these 1-minute ones that you'll have on Guitar Time for You on YouTube, and they'll also be on my Patreon. On the Patreon, the Guitar Zone, that's my family. Those are like my students, and you can be a student of mine. You can join in at a tier. But that's where I'm going to elaborate. I'll get deeper. I'll do other videos that I won't or can't post on the YouTube. So it'll be more special if I can get you to move over to Patreon eventually, and then you'll have a more intimate uh, lessons with me, and I get into more details. And all, of course, all my charts are there, all of my other lectures, and just tons of videos that aren't posted on the YouTube. But YouTube gives you enough to go on, to get you going, and hopefully get you to join, be part of my family, my guitar family. You know, I'd love to have you. And I love to hear your comments. And I get comments from my YouTubers, subscribers, and my Patreons, and they're wonderful. Well, every now and then I get a troll, I get a weird one. But some really nice things are said. People that have seen me play with Albert Collins out on the road at blues festivals, and in Detroit here, you know, I was in command. I won every award at Entertainer of the Year, and you know, I had these rock icons like Alice Cooper, Iggy Pop. All these guys were giving me these awards as a blues player in Detroit. Best band, best guitar player, best songs, all the Entertainer of the Year in 1990. I mean, I was living my dreams, you know. Maybe I can help someone, you. Maybe there are some young folks here that you'll take off, you'll learn enough, and it'll inspire you to go on and do great things in blues music, or use this as a foundation for all of the other music or other styles of music that you're into. Maybe it'll help launch you and give you ideas. It's about a journey. What I'm doing with you, it's a journey, it's a adventure, it's an exploration, it's a blues mission. Yes, these 1-minute videos, these shorts are blues missions, they are. But my guitar philosophy, or my Trinity, my guitar religion, let's not get away from the religion, let's get away from that. But I'm a secular humanist, I'm a hippie, and I'm really into this guitar philosophy of how we learn, how the neurology. I'm a wannabe neurologist, psychologist, psychiatrist, wannabe. But I understand a lot about how the brain works. I study this, okay? And what we believe and why and how we learn, how we're inspired by our environment. So I'm giving you an environment, a 1-minute environment with me every day to learn, to see if you can learn. And I know you will. And I'll take your questions. You give me comments or send me a question. And I want to know how you're doing with it. This is really important. I've never done this before. That's why I'm doing this video. Just to tell you I'm excited to do this. But is it going to be easy? No, it's not. And I'll need your support. I'll need you to keep me going on it. Because this is something I really, really want to do, and I think it's going to be really cool. Now, I'm not the kind of guitar teacher in my guitar way I teach. I'm not a song teacher like Marty and some of these other great guys that are out there and they teach you songs. That's never really been my thing. I'm about teaching the mechanics, the physical part, the mental part, the heart part, the emotions, the feelings. That's what I'm into. And I'm into these kind of journeys and explorations to make, so that you make discoveries and learn how to make discoveries and learn how to keep elevating, keep learning and going in directions and following your heart and using your brain to, who knows, be super creative, to be an inspiration, to be a healer with your music, with your blues or whatever you do, to do good, to show love. Okay? There's so much. I could go on and on. Anyways, welcome to this new 365 short daily blues lessons. They're for you. They're for you. And just stay tuned with me, okay? Stay tuned. Anyways, you'll let me know how they are and how they're doing, okay? I do these kind of quick. I'm kind of weird, you know. Look at me, you know. But I'm really am teaching you things, okay? And I have to do it quickly, and I've got 1 minute to show you something. But the videos, well, you'll see they'll go into all different things about intervals, chords, arpeggios. We'll go into techniques and skills and what I do and how I bend, and I'll be focusing on the great legends as well. There'll be 1 minute things where I do with Albert Collins, and I'll keep coming back to Albert Collins, Albert King, B.B. King. I'm going to do Mississippi John Hurt. I'm going to do all the great bluesmen, Robert Johnson. Yes, I'm going to give you what I've learned from them. I'm going to show it to you and share it quickly. And then, like I said, if I get you over to my guitar family, that's where I get into the deeper, longer videos where we get really deep into it. Okay? Anyways, here we go. This is the year 2025, and this is for you. I'm giving you this. So make use of it, all right? Make use of it.